Do you know what? I'm so pissed off right now because I just spent like 6 minutes talking, more than 6 minutes, and it was really, I had a good thing going, I tell you, but it's no audio. And maybe anger is the way to go with these things, led by anger, because otherwise it's just sadness. I don't like sadness, and often I don't feel I have a right to anger because where does it go? In other people's faces. They're gonna kill me. They're gonna kill me. So you alchemize the alchemize the anger into sadness. And what a potion, because there's some excess in there that is like probably a really bad odor in the reaction when you alchemize the anger into sadness. It's probably, you put it in the crucible, light that thing up, you dissolve, not you boil it, not boil it down, you bring it down into sadness, this deep sadness that goes whoosh, and there's a bad odor that lingers. There's probably a bad odor, a residue that goes, oh, because the anger needs to. Ah! I was talking about how I'm the next big leader, and how it's really tough for me. I was talking about, what was I talking about? There's so much that I was talking about, and now it's all gone in the bin. That I spend time with people doing things, and it's so not in my realm. It's so a different world to me. I try to combine these worlds, but it takes time and courage and bravery. Courage and bravery, both of them squared. And sometimes it's not even the right place. Sometimes, when it fits, it fits. There's so much time where it just, when I spend so much time thinking and scheming and plotting and trying to bring things about, but when it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit, and I just have to sit with this in my heart, this deep dissatisfaction. I have to say, next time it's going to be different. But people, they're so in a different, when I'm with people, it's so in a different realm. Sometimes it's like I'm just entertaining this people world, because my own world is so, I've spent so much time alone doing my own thing, and it's like rich and strong, and when I go into people world, sometimes my own rich and strong world gets, as a candle. They're blowing on my candle. They oughtn't do that. Nuh-uh, it's not good for you, it's not good for me. It certainly isn't good for me. Don't blow on my candle. Okay, so Baril, I just checked, there's audio. They're listening to me. The computer is listening to me. And now I've lost my place. The people world, my own world is so, blowing the candle. They're blowing out my little flame. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. I'm trying to let it shine. But the world being what the world is, they're trying to dampen my candle. don't dampen my candle. But the people world, it unlocks new parts of my brain. It's a special kind of thing. But there's so much of that that it unlocks and thoughts and makes me thinks and experiences. There's so much pain there. Especially when it just doesn't fit right. There's so much pain. And there's lots of the time when I have nowhere to bring that pain to. I can't bring it to the people world. I have to just have it in here, and that makes no sense to me. It doesn't seem fair. Wow, that was a lot. Also, this is probably good that the last thing got a delete, because I'm trying to get better at speaking, because that's what I've got to do if I want people to listen. And I want people to listen because they have to, they have to for me. Because if I'm going to survive, then I have to be able to throw up on everyone. I'm learning to be as insufferable as possible because that's the only way I will survive. And being scared of being insufferable will kill me. Fact. Practice talking. So much of the time I refine my words to the sweetest syrup, because I know that if I take my time with things, there won't be the time. Because people world is just often... I hate this that I'm saying people world, because it's not like that. I know that there's parts of it, it's like reciprocal. There's parts of people in me, in this state, this like me state that I am in right now. I'm in a primal Roz state. This is the primal Roz state. You know, at the core, at the centre of the earth, here I am, sunken down. And I don't understand so much why people... I'm just going to keep calling it people world. It's really bad. I don't like it. I'll come up with a different word for people world at some point in the world. But for now it's people world. And now I've lost what I was saying. This is the other thing. Need to practice this. Often I have this stop, start, and especially when I'm nervous about stopping and starting, because in you know about people world. In people world, if I'm stopping, they're starting. But when I'm stopping, I don't mean to stop. I've still got things to say, boy. And how I can become the divine leader? No. That's a joke, by the way. I hope that's clear. Leadership is often loud, smelly, quick. I'm none of these things. I'm a bit smelly sometimes. Can you blame me? Right. Right. Loud, smelly leadership is a thing. It's happening. And I'm not a... Have I said this? I'm not a crowbar kind of kid. I'm a feeler root tentacle. I'm putting my foot... I'm meeting people halfway. Because that's what I would want. Never treat thy neighbour as you'd want to be treated. I don't know if I've said this. Well, I have said this, but it might have gone in the bin. But these are known principles to me. Wait a minute. I'm thinking. What else do I have to say? This is a problem. Well, it shouldn't be a problem. There's a world where it isn't a problem, and that world is somewhere else. But it pisses me off because I have to be the one to make this shit happen. Because I'm the only one it sort of matters the most to. It will benefit other people. Maybe not everyone. I think some people very much work in the way that the world is, but not me. And I know there are certainly parts of other people. I mean, they can dip in and out, like, you know, the ponds. If you put a finger in each pond, but so, it's like, how much do I have to keep being attacked? It's not attacked, it's just how it is, but it hurts my insides. It hurts my insides a lot. And I think I've learned how to make it not so hurtful. And it's also the fact that I need help to make things in a way that is more conducive to good practice. Conducive. And when I ask for help, I put myself in a position that is shitty because people have helped me all my life, and it does help sometimes. But often people help me to help themselves. Or in the past, I mean, I don't think I'm gonna. Hopefully, I don't let it happen in a horrible way so much. The bad helping help. But when it's that dynamic of parent to, like, it's like a parent-child thing sometimes, and it's really shitty. And it hurts me, but especially when you are a child and you don't have a choice, and they're not letting you, and it's stopping you from growing, and you think that you can't do it. But you know, I'm breaking out. I'm waking up to ash and dust. I wipe my brow and I sweat my rust. I'm breathing in the chemicals. It's like this power that I have to, like, slowly Fibonacci into existence. Well, hopefully it's Fibonacci. Hopefully it doesn't go like just really slow. Hopefully it builds and builds and builds. And rolls like a little snowman down the hill of snow, picking up all the snow. Hopefully that is the case. Another thing that exists is that... Wait, I've forgotten what exists. My thing, my little niche. I feel... I've forgotten what I'm gonna say. This is the trouble. Why do I keep forgetting? I could sit here for hours. What's so wrong about empty space and curiosity? Why is there so much fear? Why am I... It's like really scary. Just the thought of talking about anything that's going on in my brain. I don't understand why that is. And I don't understand why it doesn't fit in with the world. You know, I've learnt that it's not like a me thing. I've slowly learnt that I deserve better, because I deserve better. And so does everyone else. They just don't know what better looks like. And do I know what better looks like? I have an idea of what better looks like. And it's not all bad. I say it like it's all bad, but it isn't all bad. There's just this slight imbalance. Why is it so scary? And why can no one come anywhere near my world? Like, there's been an acknowledgement. Well, if we're talking about how close people have gotten to my world, do we want to talk about that? That's quite personal, actually. People have gotten pretty close to my world. Or people. It's not many. Okay. But the majority of people... I'm so wanting to share this with more people. I think this should come naturally in discussion. And maybe that is something that happens more. But there's so many times when it just misses the mark. Or there's an acknowledgement of this great depth within us all. But perhaps people do not know how to breach it. Do I know how to breach it? It's like, how do I bring this about and facilitate it? Do I need rules and a structure? And if I start bringing it about and making it up, will people trust me to go along? Will they go along with it? Or will I look like a freaking fool? We're going cave diving, pals. We're going down the mines. Put your head torches on, or don't, if you like the dark. I wonder if you are going into the mine of your mind, do you put the head torch on? What is the done thing? Is it all about sitting in the darkness, or are you trying to see the details of the cave walls? And that's the other thing, well, it's not the other thing, this is still the thing that is being, well, you, in this space of topic, is floating in the mix. This space of topic, it's all fuzzy and kind of watery and cloudy, and it's mushed together and like maybe a bit stringy. And now I've forgotten what I was going to say. The other thing, cave diving down the mines. Cave diving, check. Down the mines, check. How do I bring about the end of the world? No. There's just like a slowness and a stillness and a scariness, and it's like, what will happen? What if we go too slow and we freeze and we turn into stone and we get petrified? The eye of Medusa comes upon us and we slow down too far and it's really awkward. Is that what we're scared of? Awkwardness? Am I scared of awkwardness? I'm scared of... I wouldn't be scared if I knew people were open to awkwardness, but I fear that they're not open to awkwardness and they're not open to being open with what's going on in them. So I just have to keep being this. But I'm not, because of my pride. My pride! Because I don't want to be the one in need. I'm trying to help you, I'm trying to save you. No, that's not how it is. That's like the other extreme. We need to meet each other in the middle. But that, it takes so much time, and many other people don't need it as much as me, or they don't experience so much pain. So does that make sense? That, like, it doesn't seem like a leadership type thing to meet in the middle. Isn't that the opposite of leadership? That's just... tectonic plate type thing. Hang on, there's an earthquake. Making volcano time. What do you know about the seafloor? That's a whole thing. We could get into that. But that's a tired topic. That one needs a break because it's feeling a bit sore and a bit hurt, the seafloor thing. It's been a bit hurt. Why does it... Why are some people born believing that they... I feel like these are two big questions. Have I finished here? Am I finished here? Am I done? I think we're done here. This meeting in the middle thing is so... reminiscent of the genders, and that kind of pisses me off because I wish that I had access to the simple way of dealing with that. But I think I have to not pretend, and I have to embody that I am so shameful of, and try and find a way for that to be met in the middle, even though no one's trying to meet that in the middle. I mean, I have a little candle of hope, but I really don't want that. That's a sore spot. And this probably makes no sense, but that's okay. I don't know, I think back to all the times I've tried so hard. I don't like how that sentence started out. I want to start a different thought where I think about, well, I had it prepared and then it just slipped out. I had it in queue when I was segueing, and then it slipped out. That pisses me off. I had it in queue, I had it ready to go. And what was I saying before then? About the genders. That I have to be. It's so nuanced. That's the thing. And it pisses me off because I just want to like bish bash bosh and be done with it and run away from it. It really scares me. Because no one's meeting me in the middle with that. They're having fun with that, but like every day I feel it. Like I really, you have to work with a team with someone to defeat it, slay the big dragon of gender, and heal something. But it's really scary. I'm finding it really scary. I don't feel like I'm in a position of power. That's the big thing. I love the shadow. Shadow, make me a Pokemon. Oh, my big thought from why are some people born thinking that they deserve what's given to them and then maybe work their way up from there by each morsel that they get. And some people are like born thinking that they deserve the world. I'm a morsel baby. But I think I deserve the world now. I think maybe I'm not quite at the world. I think it's more nuanced than that. Nuance. I'm a morsel baby. I'm a morsel baby, so why don't you kill me? That's too real. That's too real. That's really scary, actually. I can't handle that. Why that can't handle when I am in conversation and to get what I want from the world, I must bring to the table a morsel of my world. And it's so scary because there's been so much of lack of morsel of acceptance. You don't think the default is acceptance, and it's like the more people you know are there and believe in your thing, the more you go to people and you are feeling giving out these morsels. Here's a pocket full of my world. Here's a bunch of flowers, and if you sniff it, you'll smell me. Oh dear. Oh dear. And it's slowly coming to be, but there have been times when it really hasn't been that way. And the less you believe that you the more it's like a risk, because to give out these morsels, because the rejection will that's everything, because you haven't already got a baseline of a person who. But how that started wasn't you giving out a morsel of your soul, it was mutual meeting, because that just clicked. But why doesn't it click more? Why isn't there more? There ought to be clicking everywhere. But instead I have to be really brave and make things awkward everywhere. And I keep trying to find a place or force a place. I don't want to force a place. I have to learn to be a crowbar kind of kid on the daily when I'm not a crowbar kind of kid. I'm a tentacle kind of, I'm a root feeler, meet in the middle kind of kid. A point that I wrote about I can't find where I wrote about it. I think I wrote about it. Was that a point that I wrote about is that to have this space of freedom and curiosity and have it not be sped up and fall into the traditional power way, there has to be rules. I think it's so difficult to know how to set up these things, and it's like the emotional consequence for me every second that I haven't exposed myself to the world and found the way, found the will, is like a personal shock to the heart, and you're to blame. What a jeopardy. And you know, I wish I could enjoy the moments of being people world. I'm going to go back to this thing of people world, which I don't like. People world being so far away from my time alone, it pushes me further into myself. I hate seeing that in culture and like in history, in groups of the past, like radical groups. I feel like often there are things where I'm like, ugh, maybe you could have been a bit more tempered with that. I think that's, you're really cool, but that's going a bit far. But they push it that far because it won't meet in the middle. Because it's like if there were both, then both would be so, it would feed into each other. It would be like an infinity symbol with each polar at the end. And they would feed into each other, and it would be beautiful. Because I'm not all like this deep, weird dinosaur. I'm very like a people person. I'm very silly, but because the dinosaur of me is often neglected, I fall more into the dinosaur, and that's a shame. Look, if you've ever been a lady to begin with, look, be a lady tonight. If I'm not feeling alright, get the bitch out of my sight. Don't diss it, baby, I'm not someone to contend with. Look, be a lady tonight. Be a lady tonight. Be a lady tonight. I know what I was saying here, that my brain keeps buffering and stopping, and that I saw a lady on Instagram that she's building like an underground bunker type thing, and to get the sand down to make the concrete, she'd put it down a tube, and it kept getting stuck, so she had to use a vibration device to keep it moving, because that's something you do in construction. And so perhaps every time my brain gets stuck, oh wait, I was saying vibration device here, I found that very funny. Perhaps I should just shake my head a lot in order to get everything unstuck. I think I should do that in front of people the whole time, and I think they would take great pleasure in that. No.